Here we have the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So what we're looking at here is the 4-hour time frame. Each candle on this price chart represents a 4-hour trading period. And as we can see, the stock has had a bit of a gap higher here during the early parts of the trading day. So we will have to sort of revise these upper price levels here because the new high comes in at 11:30. So this does give us a little bit more of a convincing break finally of this 1049 area that we have been watching now for some time. So now finally we have broken through this prior resistance zone that was created during the December 2023 trading period, quite a while. And as we can see, overall the share price now is still trailing S&P 500 by 10%, a little bit more than 10%. So currently, what we have to look at here is the next potential upside and downside price target. What I have been focusing on here is a potential next level to the top side. Comes in at the July 2023 high, which is this spike high here at 1170. So as we can see, this was an area that was rejected quite forcefully the last time it was tested. So this does suggest that it is an area of strong resistance. Now, of course, that does not mean that this area will not be broken, but it does suggest that this area has been a forceful area of resistance in the past. To the downside, what we would be looking at here currently is this near-term support zone, which comes in right around $9.63. If we did see a break below there, we would also be breaking below a few of the exponential moving averages as well as the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement zone. So that would give us a bit more of a sideways consolidative outlook. Quickly, I will also look at the indicator reading here because we are seeing some signals here that are still positive. However, at the same time, we do have to sort of acknowledge the fact that share prices have moved into overbought territory. So it's a little bit of a conflicting signal at the moment. On balance, I would still consider this to be a bullish reading because this trend line has remained intact here. And overall share price momentum has mostly remained positive. We are seeing a little bit of a rejection point at these upper levels because we did see a price gap to the top side. And this did send share prices into fairly significant overbought territory. So we're still in that region here. I would expect to see, some rollover here, possibly in the next trading session. So this will be an area to watch here going forward to see whether or not this trend line breaks, because that would suggest that we have now come to an end with this positive bullish momentum reading. Before I continue, I am going to address some of the comments that have been posted recently because they're just increasingly idiotic in nature, just make no sense at all. So the most recent example of this comes from Tony Price 2256, who says, there are only 4 more market trading days before SoFi's earnings call. That will most likely be the catalyst to propel the price perhaps beyond that 1170 level. As you pointed out, there was just a long upper wick rejection at that level. Not much price action occurred at that range, which means there won't be much resistance there. Okay, completely incorrect. So my response is, as a general rule, I would say the opposite is true. Long wicks and lack of price consolidation in an area suggests that the rejection was forceful and that the resistance is strong in that area. And then he responds, you would be absolutely correct under normal circumstances. So I'm just going to stop right there because there are no circumstances where lack of price consolidation would suggest what he's saying. Long wicks suggest that forceful price action has occurred in a certain area. If we see a lot of price consolidation in that area, it would suggest that that area is a much weaker area of resistance. That's always true under all circumstances. That's never not true. So what he's trying to say here is that I'm making the argument that share prices are going to be rejected at that level. Totally incorrect again. Simply pointing out a level of resistance does not mean necessarily that I believe that prices will even fail in that area. a resistance level can hold or it can be broken. Two different scenarios can occur. And in just about every video that I've ever posted on this channel, I do give both sides of the argument. I do say this is what happens if the resistance area breaks. This is what happens if it doesn't break. Two different outlooks. In either case, it doesn't change the fact that lack of price consolidation in an area does not suggest that resistance levels are greater. That is never true under any circumstances. And this idiot has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. So then he goes on to say, you are correct that back on July 2023, it's in July, not on July, Tony. In July 2023, there was a huge rejection at that 1170 level. What that means is that there were very few buyers willing to commit to that price, but there were more than enough sellers willing to sell at that price, hence the long upper rejection wick. Who is he talking to? Does anybody not understand whether or not there's more buyers or sellers? It's just an incredibly obvious point that everybody already knows, but he thinks that he's uncovering some true wisdom here and making a salient point. But here is the difference, he said. That was more than a year ago. Okay, guess what? The rules of chart analysis don't change depending on when it occurs. If it occurs a year ago or now, it's the exact same situation. Lack of price consolidation in an area does not imply that a resistance level is weaker. That wouldn't be, it would be true if it was 10 years ago or 10 minutes ago. Makes absolutely no difference. The idiot goes on to say, it was July 2023. It is no longer July 2023. Okay, I don't like that stupid Captain Obvious joke or whatever, but he is saying the most dumb, obvious possible things. I mean, he couldn't be more obvious. It was July 2023. It is no longer July 2023. It is now October 2024. Like it's just on and on about what year and what day it is. The difference is that is then and this is now, complete with capital letters to make his point, I guess, more important. I don't know. It's still idiotic. The price momentum is by far stronger now and for very good reasons. It makes absolutely no difference. The rules are the rules. Lack of consolidation in a resistance zone does not suggest that the resistance zone is weaker. Okay, it doesn't matter when it occurred. We will all just see what happens in a few days. Again, he's just completely going off the rails here. And he's trying to say that share prices will break through that level when that wasn't even part of the comment. Simply pointing out a resistance zone does not suggest that it will break or won't break. It simply recognizes that the resistance level exists. That level can break or it might not break. It can hold or it can break. There are two different scenarios, and I go through that in every single video. I mean, this is just another unhinged idiot who has a position, and he seems to think that anytime somebody says something that isn't glowingly positive, it somehow means that this person is saying that the share price is going to move lower. If you really believe that I think that the share price is going to move lower, find a direct quote, use quotation marks, and give a timestamp for exactly when I said whatever it is that the share price is going to move lower. The only time that I said that the share price was going to be moving lower for this stock was when it moved into that 760 area following the interest rate cut. Okay, that was the only time that I actually said it was moving lower. This guy doesn't even understand what planet he's on. He thinks he needs to explain to people what year it is and what occurs when there are more sellers than buyers. Just incredibly obvious points because this guy has a low IQ.